Hello, and welcome to English Insights. Today, we will talk about a very big question. It's a question many people ask. What happens after we die? This is a great mystery. No one really knows the exact answer for sure. But many people, for a very long time, for thousands of years, have had different ideas and strong beliefs about it. We will look at some of these ideas together. This video will help you listen and understand these important thoughts. Part 1. Our body after death. When a person dies, their body stops working. This means all the parts of the body that keep it alive stop. The heart stops beating, so blood does not move around the body anymore. The brain stops thinking and sending signals. The person stops breathing, so air does not go in and out of the lungs. The body becomes still and cold. It does not move or feel anything anymore. This is a very natural part of life. For all living things on earth, people, animals, birds, fish, and even plants, everything that lives for some time also dies. It is the end of the physical life for that body. After a person dies, their body cannot stay alive. It starts to change. So, people usually do two main things with the body to take care of it and say goodbye. These ways are different in different cultures and countries. One very common way is to bury the body. This means putting the body into the ground. People often place the body in a special, strong box called a coffin. This coffin is usually made of wood. Then, they dig a hole in the ground, often in a special calm place called a cemetery or graveyard. Many cemeteries have green grass and trees, and they are peaceful places. People put the coffin into the hole and cover it with earth. This has been a very old way to care for the dead for thousands of years. Many cultures and religions around the world bury their dead. It is a way to show respect for the person who lived and to say a final goodbye to the physical body. After burial, people sometimes put flowers on the grave or a stone called a tombstone with the person's name, birth date, and death date on it. They often visit these places to remember the person, to think about their loved one, and to feel close to them. It helps many people to have a special place to visit and remember. Another common way to care for the body is to cremate the body. This means burning the body. The body turns into fine ash, like very fine dust. This happens in a special, very hot building called a crematorium. After cremation, the family often collects the ashes. They might keep the ashes in a special pot called an urn. Some people choose to keep the urn in their home, perhaps on a shelf, as a way to remember their loved one. Some people decide to spread the ashes in a special place that was important to the person who died. This place might be a beautiful garden, a calm river, a large sea, or a mountain. It might be somewhere the person loved to go when they were alive. Cremation is also a way to say goodbye to the physical body. It's a different way to think about the end of the body's journey on Earth. So, when we talk about what happens after we die, for the physical body, it means it returns to the earth or becomes ash. The body is no longer living or feeling. It is just matter. But this is just about the physical body, the part we can see and touch. Many people around the world believe that something else, something not physical, continues to exist. This brings us to bigger ideas about what it means to be alive and what might happen next. It helps them to think that death is not the complete end of everything. Part 2. The idea of a soul, something more than just a body. Many people, in many cultures and religions, all around the world, believe that we have a soul. A soul is not the body. It is something inside us that is not physical. You cannot see it with your eyes. You cannot touch it with your hands. You cannot weigh it on a scale. But many people strongly believe that this soul is the real you. It is your deepest mind, your feelings, your spirit, your true self, your consciousness. They believe this soul is very different from the body. The body gets old, gets sick, feels pain, and finally dies. But the soul, many people believe, does not die. It continues to live on in some way. This idea of a soul is very old, going back to the earliest times of human history. People have talked about it, written about it, and created art about it for thousands and thousands of years. This idea gives many people hope and comfort when they think about death or when someone they love dies. If the soul does not die, then the person, the real you inside, continues to exist in some form or in some place. This means that death is not the absolute end of existence, but a change, a journey for the soul. Where does this soul go? This is where beliefs become very different from each other. Some people believe the soul goes to a completely different place, like a spiritual world or a different dimension. Some believe it goes to a different state of being, a new way of existing. Some believe it joins something much bigger than itself, like the universe, a divine power, or a universal consciousness. For example, some might believe it becomes part of God or part of the energy of the world. The soul is often seen as something that is pure and eternal. Eternal means it has no end, no beginning, and it lives forever. This is a strong and comforting idea for many people. It means that death is not the complete end of everything you are. It is a new beginning or a continuation of your journey in another form. This idea is a very important part of almost all major religions and many spiritual paths around the world. It helps people to feel that their loved ones are not truly gone forever, but have simply moved to another place or another form of existence. The soul is often seen as the part that carries memories, love, wisdom, and personality. It is the part that connects us to something larger and more lasting than just our short physical life on earth. It gives a deeper meaning to human existence. Part 3: Heaven and Hell, Places After Life. One of the most common and well-known ideas about what happens after we die comes from many religions, especially Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. This idea is about heaven and hell. These are often described as specific places or states of being where souls go after death, based on how they lived their lives. Heaven is often believed to be a very beautiful place, a place of endless peace, great happiness, and pure light. It is commonly believed to be where good people go after they die. In heaven, people are often believed to be with God or with other holy beings. They are also reunited with their loved ones who also went to heaven. In heaven, there is no pain, no sickness, no sadness, no problems, and no worry. It is a perfect place, full of joy and complete comfort. People who believe in heaven often try very hard to live a good life, to follow their religious rules, to be kind to others, to help the poor, and to forgive people. They do this because they believe these actions will help their soul go to heaven after death. They believe that God will judge them, looking at their good and bad deeds. If they lived a life full of goodness and faith, their soul will be welcomed into this beautiful place to live forever in happiness. Heaven is often described in religious texts and stories as a place with beautiful gardens, bright, shining lights, singing, and a feeling of ultimate peace and love. It's a place where all human suffering finally ends and eternal joy truly begins. Hell, on the other hand, is often believed to be a very bad and frightening place, a place of deep pain, great suffering, and thick darkness. It is commonly believed to be where bad people go after they die, as a form of punishment for their bad actions on earth. This punishment can be forever, meaning it never ends. People who believe in hell try very hard to avoid doing bad things, to avoid sin, and to live a good, righteous life. They do this because they do not want their soul to go to hell. They also believe that God will judge them. If they lived a life full of evil, cruelty, or rejection of faith, their soul will be sent to this terrible place forever. Hell is often described as a place full of fire, extreme heat, torment, and endless sadness and regret. It is a place of complete separation from God and from everything good. The idea of heaven and hell gives people a strong reason to live their lives in a certain way, to choose good over bad, to be moral, because they believe there are very big and eternal consequences after death for their choices in life. This belief system is very strong in many parts of the world, and it guides how billions of people live their lives every day. It provides a moral framework, a sense of ultimate justice, and a strong reason to follow religious teachings. Part 4. Rebirth or Reincarnation, the endless cycle. Another very old and common idea about what happens after we die is called rebirth or reincarnation. This idea is very important in major religions like Buddhism and Hinduism, and also in some other spiritual traditions. Rebirth means that after the body dies, the soul or spirit or consciousness is born again into a completely new body. This new body can be a new human baby, or it can be an animal, like a dog, a cat, or a bird, or it can even be another living thing, like an insect. The type of new body, or the situation of the new life, depends on how the person lived, their past life. This is ruled by a very important idea called karma. Karma is like a law of action and result. It means that every action you take, every thought you have, and every word you speak creates a result. It's like planting a seed. If you plant a good seed, you get a good plant. If you plant a bad seed, you get a bad plant. So if you do good things in your life, like being kind, honest, helpful, and loving, you build good karma. Then, in your next life, your soul might be born into a better situation, or a happier family, or a healthier body. This means a life with less suffering. If you do bad things, like being cruel, dishonest, selfish, or harming others, you build bad karma. Then, in your next life, your soul might be born into a harder situation, or a body that is not well, or a life with more problems. So karma is like a spiritual record of all your actions. It decides what happens to your soul in its next life. The goal, in religions that strongly believe in rebirth, is often to stop this cycle of rebirth. This endless cycle of being born, living, dying, and being born again is called samsara. People try to live a very good and pure life, full of kindness, wisdom, compassion, and peace. They try to remove all bad karma and avoid creating new bad karma. When they do this perfectly, their soul can reach a state of ultimate peace and freedom. This ultimate state is often called nirvana in Buddhism, or moksha in Hinduism. When a soul reaches nirvana or moksha, it means it does not have to be born into a new body again. It breaks free from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. It finds ultimate peace, enlightenment, and becomes one with a greater truth or reality. This state is often described as perfect understanding and happiness without pain or wanting. This idea of rebirth is very different from the ideas of heaven and hell. It means that death is not a final end to the individual journey, but just a step in a very long, long journey of many lives. Each life is seen as a chance to learn, to grow, to become better, and to move closer to spiritual freedom. It means that our actions, thoughts, and words today have effects not just in this life, but also in many future lives. This belief encourages people to live with great responsibility, compassion for all living things, and deep awareness of their every action, because it will come back to them in the future. It offers a sense of deep continuity and a sense of purpose across many lifetimes. Part 5. Nothingness or the end, a material view. Some people believe that after we die, there is simply nothing. They believe that when the body dies, the mind also dies completely, and there is no soul or spirit that continues to exist. It is the absolute, complete end of that person's existence. This idea is often held by people who do not follow a specific religion. They might be called atheists or agnostics. These people often rely mostly on science and on what they can see, touch, and measure to understand the world. They believe that the brain is what creates the mind. All our thoughts, all our feelings, our personality, and our consciousness. So when the brain stops working and the body dies, everything stops. There is no heaven, no hell, no rebirth, no afterlife. It's like a light bulb. When the electricity, power, is gone, the light bulb turns off. It does not go to another place. It simply stops being a light. In the same way, for them, a person's consciousness turns off when the brain stops working. For some people, this idea of nothingness can be scary or sad. The thought of completely disappearing, of not existing anymore, can feel very final and empty. It can make people feel afraid of death. But for other people, this idea can bring a kind of peace or a feeling of freedom. It means there is no judgment after death, no punishment, no endless suffering, and no difficult tests. It means that this life, the one we are living right now, is the only life we have. So because this life is the only one, it becomes very, very important to live this life as well as possible. It encourages people to be happy now, to do good things now, to love now, and to enjoy every single moment and experience they have. This view puts a very strong focus on the present moment. It means that the true value and meaning of our life is in what we do and how we live right now, today, not in what might happen after death. It encourages people to make the most of their time on earth, to build strong relationships, to do meaningful work, to help society, and to enjoy all the beauty and experiences of life. It means that the legacy we leave behind, the good things we do for others, the positive memories we create in the minds of people who are still alive, the impact we have on the world is what truly matters, because there is no continuation of a personal self after death. Death, in this view, is the absolute and final end of individual existence. Our contribution to the world, through our actions, is our only way to live on. Part 6. different views, and how they bring comfort. So, as you can see, there are many very different ideas about what happens after we die. No one person can say for sure which idea is absolutely correct. This question remains a great mystery for all of humanity. Everyone has to choose what they believe in their heart, or if they choose to believe nothing at all. Each belief offers a different way to understand life and death. Religion. Most people get their ideas about life after death from their faith. These beliefs often come from many different sources. Religion. Most people get their ideas about life after death from their faith. Major religions like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and many other spiritual paths all have their own teachings and stories about what happens after death. These teachings often tell people what they should do in life to have a good afterlife. Culture, the place where you live, the traditions of your family, and the history of your country can strongly shape your beliefs. What people have believed for hundreds or thousands of years in your culture can feel very natural for you to believe. Personal experience. Sometimes, people go through powerful moments that make them think deeply about life and death. This could be losing someone they love very much, or having a very close call with danger, where they almost died themselves. These moments can make people search for answers. Science. Some people look to science to understand life and death. Science can explain how the body works, how the brain creates thoughts, and what happens when the body stops. But science cannot answer questions about a soul or what happens to consciousness after the brain completely shuts down. So science focuses on what we can observe and measure in the physical world, which means it cannot prove or disprove ideas about the afterlife. For many people, believing in life after death brings great comfort. It helps them cope with the deep sadness of losing someone they love. They believe they will meet their loved ones again in another place or another life. This thought can ease their grief. It also gives them hope and a strong reason to live a good life. If they believe in heaven, they try to live in a way that will help them go there. If they believe in rebirth, they try to live well to have a better next life. This comfort can be very important in difficult times. It gives meaning to suffering, helps people find strength to continue, and provides a sense of ultimate purpose beyond just this single life. For others, the idea of nothingness, or simply accepting the end of physical life, can also bring a different kind of peace. It means focusing all their energy on living this one life fully, making every single moment count, and leaving a positive mark on the world while they are here. They find purpose in this present existence. In the end, the question, what happens after we die, remains a very personal journey for each person to explore in their own way. There is no single, easy answer that everyone agrees on. It is a deep mystery that helps us think about life itself, how we live, what we value most, and what we truly hope for in the time we have. It reminds us to think about our purpose and what is truly important to us in the limited time we are given on earth. It is a big question that connects all of humanity across all cultures, all religions, and all times.